So sorry, I had to sneeze. But LA did scare the heck out of me. This might be part 2 of the LA story because this is going on longer than I thought. But anyway, I worked at Capitol Records in the tower, and through that work, I got the opportunity to help edit a book by the famous potter Beatrice Wood, who lived to be well over 100. An amazing person. I met her, obviously. I edited a book of hers called 33rd Wife of Maharaja. It is out now. I'm not given any credit. Maybe they didn't like my edits. I don't know. I don't know what happened after I submitted my edited copy to them, but that did happen. And my employers at Capitol Records, after I left there, one of them contacted me because he was being investigated for embezzlement. And he tried to offer me some money to keep quiet. And I said no. But while I was at Capitol Records, another really cool thing is I was working on some files and I came across an original signed contract with the Beatles, signed by all the Beatles. I'll never forget that. I had that moment of like, not wanting to take it because it was valuable, but just because it was amazing to me. I grew up with the Beatles. But I left it because I'm ultimately an ethical person. Nice to see that, though. I also worked at E! Entertainment Television in that 4 years as a temp. To give you a time frame, I was typing invoices for them on a typewriter. And finally, there was a big fire right near where we lived in Los Feliz, up in Griffith Park. And then the O.J. Simpson thing happened. And I just lost that loving feeling for Los Angeles. So I packed up and I moved back to my hometown of Santa Barbara. There was this one moment with my demo of my songs where I went to this producer's roundtable. So you'd go to this thing and you, with your little cassette and your promotional materials and your 8x10, and you'd play a couple of your songs in a roulette anonymously, but while you're present, and the record producers present would critique your song. So my first song played, and one guy said, this person has no clue of the current culture of music. This is absolutely terrible, and he should just rethink the whole thing. The thing is, I take my rejections, I celebrate my rejections as much as my successes, or my failures as much as my successes equal, because I find it all interesting. So then, plus it's a good story for me anyway. Plus, later, you had 2 songs you got to add to the roulette. My second song played, and it was all supposed to remain anonymous. And the producer said, as soon as my song started playing, he said, I already know who this is, and we're just going to stop it there. And he said, I know this is supposed to remain anonymous, but can the songwriter and singer please stand up? And just because I'm just fascinated by human nature, I stood up, and he said to me, as soon as it started playing, you could already tell it was you again. And you know, it was the hip hop era, you know. I don't rap. I don't, you know, my songs were not what was happening. And he was right. He was absolutely right. But it was pretty humiliating and embarrassing, as you can imagine. I was still a very young person going after a dream, and I just I just left there crushed. I don't know if that's what made me give up, but you know, sometimes when people tell you maybe you need to try something else, they're not being cruel, they're being correct. So anyway, I just came across my demo tape cleaning out some stuff the other day, and now I can smile and laugh. And in a very strange way, I'm sort of relieved it didn't all work out. I don't know who I would have been had that worked out. Probably intolerable is what I would have been. So anyway, I left LA just shortly. I actually moving during the time the Northridge quake happened. So that was my 4 years in LA. So much happened. And I never went back. And that is the end of my River Tills tale for today. And thank you for watching. Okay, cheers.